from a large vehicle to a small vehicle. And this is like the large vehicle will be like big.
Morning, everybody. So I think we have everybody inside. Thank you for coming. I know there's a lot to see, so may I start by asking who are the corporate people here? Semi-corporate? Corporate? How about startups? All right, a lot of startups. So, okay. Well, actually, Spark Labs is standing right in the middle between the corporate world and the startup world. We have a booth here at D13. We have the startups that we have invested in. We also brought the startups that we're thinking about investing. And we're also here to see our future investments. I'm the head of FAR Plus. FAR Plus is a traditional organization in the automotive industry. It's an industrial organization. And then we also formed FARC Labs. And this is to find a better version of the future with new innovations. They are two separate companies. And this is the story of how we evolved. And I hope that it will inspire both the startups and the corporates. So if you know Minecraft, I learned it from my kids. So I really like the way they built the world because you can have many games playing all around the world with different people. And then at the end, you can have one big game. This is what we're trying to achieve. In the corporate world, for many years, I have always dreamed of such an environment to have peaceful, less stress, the people I like, and to work together towards a goal. And it was rarely possible because there was a lot of stress, especially in the automotive. So you always have to strive for that 1% improvement when we can all sit down and dream of 10 times or 100 times. Park Labs originated in Turkey originally, but now we're in Michigan and Korea. We also have a lot of startups in Paris. It's an innovation and transformation hub. You are hearing about these organizations a lot, I think, in our lives. But the difference that we have is that we also invest in all the ventures that we are working with. So this is the 1% that I was talking about. And then the Silicon Valley perspective is that why can we not make it 10 times better and 100 times better rather than sitting on that 1% for many years? So this was not enough. And then I think in the automotive industry, we all have to come to that sense because 1% is not going to get us to the future. And you are seeing it also in the balance sheet of a lot of automotive companies. The industrial corporation, as you see, the factories and everything. So you can have a big corporation, and then we are almost everywhere in the world. It started as a small company, but then it grew to 4,000 people. And then FARC Labs started growing us in areas that we wanted to be in, but didn't know how to get into. Yeah, this is our team. And then when you bring everything together in your lives, all the startups, all the OEMs, all the companies, we started serving the whole automotive industry. And then we also started finding out what are the new things and then how can we cater to the existing customers, but then also started thinking about who will be our future customers. In 2006, when Tesla was a very small company that no automotive supplier wanted to supply, we were also a startup and we didn't have any customers. So there was one person who wanted to buy something from us, and that was Elon Musk. And that company started and it grew to be a 2,000 people company now all around the world. So you never know who will be the big, the hot shots of the future. And that's why we have a lot of respect for all these startups around because we were that at one point at a time. So we understand the game. These are all the traditional, parts that we are doing. So basically, we can do a car, we can make a car, or we can produce anything. But in today's world, it is more important to know how to sell that product rather than making it. So unless we find those people also, we don't dare to make a brand or something, and instead making everything ourselves, we decided to collaborate with startups and with more innovative people, and also with innovative people that are coming from these big corporate worlds that are really tired of the system, want to get out and become entrepreneurs. So we support these people and their ideas. It is much better. It's like the Minecraft game. It is much easier to support their game rather than playing, in many games across the board. So today also we have, when you look at it, we have two separate divisions. So we do innovation as a service, and our mother company is also one of those customers. So we can help them with strategy and everything else, but then we also invest in innovation. ChargePoint is here, I see, for example, we are one of the early investors of ChargePoint. We invested in the Israeli startups, in different funds. So I think when you say innovation investment, you cannot just do incubation or VC or private equity. You have to build a system where you do all of these activities to build a good innovation portfolio. And this is what we're working on right now. And on the left side, the better future path. So when you see F1 to F5, F1 and F2, you have an idea, you don't know how to build the company, you're thinking about something. That's where this path leads. And then F3 is the accelerator mode. F4 and F5, F4, you would rather have an invoicing, you have some customers, and F5, you're investment ready. And then after F5, you would preferably get your seed round. And then we help you also to get your Series A and the rest. When we invested in ChargePoint, I think it was Series G. So you never know how long it's going to take. Now they're public, but the process still continues. So it's a very long game. And you need a good partner that understands every facet of this business, not just the incubator or the accelerator. So it can last more than 10 years. It's a long thing, long journey ahead. So it's important to be in the game for a long time. That's the better future path that I'm talking about. So you can start with the ideation. We also work with EIT Urban Mobility with their startups and the accelerator programs. Soon we are opening also in Michigan. The reason for that is when you invest in Europe or in Turkey or wherever, you need lending spaces for different markets where the customer can accelerate you much faster. And US is one of those markets. The reason we chose Michigan is for the mobility. If you go to Silicon Valley, it's a very competitive market, especially for smart hardware. So Michigan is very receiving. They need innovation. They also have an old economy, and they're welcoming to have different suppliers. And I think also supplying in the automotive industry, in the micromobility, and we see micromobility as the new competitors of the automotive. So they need that kind of innovation, and Fark Labs is bringing that to the customer, and we help startups to do business development. I only have 2 minutes, so these are some of the programs. So maybe, for example, this is the water mobility project, the City Raptor, that we did with the Istanbul municipality. We work with municipalities. We work with Paris municipality as well. We are curious in many things. So when we get curious about something, we also take it. So AI, for example, you cannot think of any industry without using AI. So that's also in our curious future. This is our portfolio. We started with mobility. Now we're investing in net zero assets. So light materials, clean energy, everything goes into this. This is the portfolio that I was telling you. When you build an innovation portfolio, we do incubation, we do follow-on incubations, VC tickets, and strategic investments. And these are our areas here. We have, for example, 2 hydrogen startups in the pipeline. We have 1 battery pack company coming up. We have 1 for the earthquake resistance software. So any technology that makes our future better comes to our scope. These are some of the Buyukki just won the public award yesterday. Buyukki is in our booth. Comodiv is a connected car platform that is connecting every vehicle, every bicycle, whatever you want to connect. Entrepreneur, when you're working with VCs, when you want to use your use cases and get them on to the public, this is a very good intelligent market research startup. MobiQ is the smart box delivery that's making your delivery smarter. The new key is your face becomes your key for anything, any application that you like. Rectrum is a LiDAR company for AGVs that you can easily install. So Yapodrom is a fleet management company from Turkey. They have a very good network, and they're willing to expand to Europe and work with municipalities as well. Duct has been a member of this union actually for 2 years, and they got their first investment here from InnoEnergy. And they were acquired by Acton, the San Francisco e-bike company. And this was done in 36 months from idea to the second round. And it was incubated by our own teammates. And we funded it. And it took 36 months to spin it off. Buyukkusoglu is a smart camera company that it's also in the new Turkish vehicle, TOGG. They are using their cameras. It's the first smart camera factory in Turkey, can produce up to 3 million cameras a year with the software. Eureka is a sustainable waste management software. Memotive is a human resource management app. Optiol is route optimization. So Cycle is sensor technology for any kind of vehicle, or so also for commercial vehicles. It's also important to have good R&D knowledge. So any kind of like an onboard charging, for example, it's coming up, and then we want to work on that. We can go to our startups and say, this is the product we like, this is the product we think we can sell. So we work with our startups on product development rather than trying to do everything in ourselves. Because it's very hard to build a product and a technology that you don't know. So you need so much time to learn that product. Why do that when you have all these startups with all the expertise that you can do it together much faster, better, and cheaper? And that's also good for those startups. Now in the US, so if you're interested in coming to US, lending into the US, we are opening soon in Detroit area. So we are helping you with business development, with strategy, customer contacts, and then we always have a team on board. And these are mobility guys. So it's not somebody, helping you with the paperwork and stuff, but really who you should meet, getting the meetings, even attending with you to the meetings, and all does that because we are all coming from the automotive industry and we know how they speak. This is our team in Michigan. Hannah is Korean American and Turkish, so it's really hard to find that person. Finding talent is as important as finding a good startup. So if you are also interested in working in these areas, please come and find us at D13 because people are the greatest assets in this business. Yes. And this will be our path, and then we will be focusing on more customer-ready and investment-ready and scale-up collaborations in Michigan. And then we also have another fund. We are investing in female startups. I'm done. So we are investing in companies with at least one female co-founder. So if you are a woman working with many men, like we are used to in the automotive industry, but you want investment for your company, you can also apply to this fund. This is the deal flow. And I hope you can join us to build a better future together. And next year, we're also planning an event in Istanbul with the AUTONOMY, and I hope you will also join to that. Thank you for listening.